Hello, viewers. This is your Michael for Screen Review, bringing you a new podcast of my separate code the Super Sentai Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly in case you don't understand me. Also, I try to do my best not to be too hard during the audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain your adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will have some adult language if you're under 18. Now, if you're over 18, then you have to watch this audio podcast recording. So anyway, this is my first podcast of the new year. So anyway, let's get into the latest episode of King-Ohger. So basically, it starts off at Gloki, the nation of Gloki, Rita's nation, and basically Rita was the judge at Ratcliffe's trial, Rita and the rest of the Rangers were there. All the Rangers were there, and she was stating the charges against Ratcliffe and whatnot, and basically do you have something to say? And basically, and that's where Ratcliffe said, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you guys something, and I'm going to tell you the story, and it's the truth. Turns out turns out that the Chilean royal family has always been serving to Douglas for the last 2,000 years. So basically, the over 2,000 years, the Chilean royal family was always been service to Douglas. And so basically, the reason why they hit the Douglas since Sugar is the most dominant, nation on the Terran planet, they did it because Ratcliffe could have destroyed the planet, with a snack of his finger if he wanted to. So basically, the royal Sugar, the royal Sugar family had no choice but to kick, to bow down and serve Douglas to keep him happy. That way, he won't destroy the planet that the planet of Terra. That where the Rangers, when the current key Ogers lived on and whatnot. So anyway. Turns out that Douglas uses powers to impersonate Ratchis's mother. So basically, it turns out that Garrett or so basically Garrett and Ratcliffe are biological brothers. So basically, Ratcliffe uses powers to impregnate Ratcliffe's mother, and therefore she gave birth to Garrett. So basically, it and also things get a little, the pot gets even thickened as well. So basically, Ratcliffe's father, the past king, Ratcliffe's father, wanted had after was secretly hatched a plan to get rid of Douglas and free his family, free the royal Sugadam family from some serving Douglas once and for all, to try to find a way to destroy him. So basically, Ratcliffe's father said, I have enough. I have, unlike my ancestors, I have enough. I have enough of, basically, being a servant to Ratcliffe and kissing his ass. So basically, he said. So basically, Ratcliffe's father has a plan. And basically, while Ratcliffe, was just braiding, going on with the story, we see the jesters, basically Hibiki, Grody, Collagen, and Minigo, with all kind of kind of in a disbelief state, but so some basically Minigo was acting strange, and basically he said that I'm gonna need you. I need you guys help to do something, but I need your guys' energy. So basically, without any hesitation, the four jesters of the space bug, gave Minigo his energy, and basically he used that energy to do some time reversal things on the people of Sugarland and whatnot. So basically, some of the adults in Sugarland aged into old people. The young kids, the kids in Sugarland aged into grown ups, and some others to be in between. Either return to babies or into old people. So basically, Garen got the phone call from Doug from Douglas. It's who's an old man now, thanks to medical using the other justice powers to change people ages and whatnot. So basically, at first Garen thought, who's this talking? He's like an old man. And so basically he didn't believe that this was Douglas was phone, but Douglas was age to the old man. He was speaking funny. So anyway, after convincing that after convincing Gary that he is Douglas, and his friend Minigo somehow has the ability use some type of power to age people the people in different into different ages. So basically, we just stayed behind with Rackless, continuing the trial, and the rest of the Rangers went to go help, go stop Minigo. So basically, while that was going on, the trial continued. So basically, it turns out that Rackless gave more details about this. So basically, everything would so basically, once Galen was born and whatnot, the king's plan was to use Garen as a tool to take down Dogwa and Dogwa once and for all. So basically, that was Frax's father's plan to use Gideon, who is not his son, to use Gideon to take down Dogwa. So basically, it turns out as a young kid, the sugar he 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 gave that special dessert that we see in flashbacks that we see Gary eating as a kid. Turns out that that special dessert had the soul gem of the red Venusaur in it, and basically and he told Wagner to make sure that Gary eats it, and therefore that's what happened to the red Venusaur's sugar soul gem. When Garen ate it in the dessert that Reckless father forced Reckless to give Garen to eat. So basically, therefore, that's the reason why Garen has the ability to communicate with all the Zords, because he ate the red Beetlezoid's sugar so gem, and therefore that's why he's able to understand the Zords on a spiritual level and whatnot, and able to communicate with them like that, unlike the others. So basically, Rakkus dad told him that I'm gonna use Garen, to take down Darker. So basically, I don't. He Garen is just a kid. He's not my son. He's a tool to be used to take down, Dogma, and basically Ratcliffe is So basically, it turns out that Ratcliffe's father was dying of something. It's not the spring, but whatever it was, he was slowly dying. So basically, like it's up to you to use Garen to take down Dogwa. So basically, Rakkus is like, this is my brother. I know he's not your son, but he's still my brother. I can't do that. So basically, why that? So basically, inside the courtroom, Gary after Gary ate that the special dessert with the red beetle sugar so in it, he started to fall to the ground and basically started to flip out and whatnot. So basically, we see Boris that Covington was posing at, the original Boris, came to give aid and whatnot, and that's when Covington, Scott as a god showed up, and he's like, like he said, oh, so basically, like we know that Waxley's father is up to something. So basically, we came here to take care of it. And basically, the original boys say that I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever it is, I won't let you stop it. And basically, boy said, like, you know what, pick up a sword and say, I'm a master knight. So basically, like, basically, like, and commented, well, guess what, guess what? You have to die now. So basically, Boris pick up the sword and Boris gets commented, and basically he did got killed, but at least he went down fighting. So basically, Gary rushed in all crazy and whatnot with a sword and tried to attack Rax's father and say, "Oh, I figured as much." Basically after eating the show, he's in a raised state right now after eating the red beetle sugar so gem. So basically, once this race state's over, he will lose all his memory, and therefore that's the reason why Garen doesn't remember his childhood in the palace, in Paris, and he did. That's why Gary didn't remember his childhood much, growing up in the Sugar Palace along with Baxter very well. So basically, like this is like so basically, so basically, so basically, Rackets was not happy with this idea, and basically, like the king and his father said, "This must be done. Our family's been serving Doug was the king of the space book for 2,000 years. I'm slowly dying. It will be up to you. Garen is a two, not your brother." And basically, so basically, after Garen started to calm down, Wackness took Garen away, and took Garen away, and basically, and that's when the incident of the Fury of the Gods happened. So basically, it turns out that Goldie and Commenting was in there to stop whatever part that Wacker's father was trying to part against Dogwa, the Dogwa, the king of the space robot. So basically, Goldie and Goldie and Covington killed Wacker's father, but he turned out that he had the zero of the caliber and morphed up into the silver Beetle Ranger and basically, went out fighting. So basically, even though Wacker's father was sick and dying, he still had the zero caliber sword and basically used it and had one final battle against Douglas and Grody, and therefore as punishment for trying to part against Douglas, caused the fury of the God incident 17 years ago with the because of Wax's father trying to plot against trying to take down Douglas, that's why the theory of the God actually happened 17 years ago. So anyway, And so anyway, Reckless said after my father died, and I swore my allegiance to Douglas, I had Garrett hid away at the orphanage and whatnot, and therefore, I was never going to use Garrett to take down Douglas, but fate had different plans, but fate has different plans and whatnot. So basically, while Ratchet was still talking to Rita, the Rangers showed up, and basically Medico used his time warp powers to turn Jeremy, Hemo, and Jiren into Asian died by 10 years. So basically, you know, Jiren, Yamato, Himo, and Jeremy were like 10-year-old kids, while as for Kakaraka, he looked like he was in his 20s, like he looked like a 21-year-old. And basically, Kakaraka managed to get the get the others together, and they morphed up in the craziest fight I ever seen. So basically, when Garen struck Minato, he turned back to his proper age. So basically, when he struck Minato, that's when all his memories came back. He knows the truth now. He knows what really kind of he remembers everything that happened to him as a kid, growing up in the sugar royal family. So basically, he remembers, what his father said to him and whatnot. So basically, and basically the others did the same thing, struck Minato, and they all returned back to their proper ages, and basically they combined their attack together to take that Minato. But it seems like, but but Medico used so basically Medico but their attacks were absorbed by Medico's body, and therefore we hear Douglas' voice. Turns out that Douglas was in control of Medico's body, who managed to transfer his mind into Medico, and basically and use the Ranger's energy to to bring his body back, to bring his body back alive. So basically, Douglas is back in his body that he used the energy of the five Q Rangers attacks to revive his body, and therefore using Medico's body to absorb the Ranger attack, he used that energy you know to bring his body back, and therefore transfer his mind back into his body, and therefore Mendelville was back to normal, back to his normal self, and basically like, oh, you guys are in trouble. You don't count me out as yet, but you guys are, you guys will pay to you guys will pay for trying to destroy me. And basically basically Douglas and Minico left, and basically before the Rangers got back to Goki, Ratcliffe asked Rita to not record whatever I said here at the trial today, because he doesn't want anybody to know about this because a lot of people gave up their lives to try to save this planet and whatnot. So basically, yes, it is. I do believe that people should know the truth about about the Silver Royal family's service to Dugwell, but at the same time, I don't want this to look bad for future generations. And Rita said, okay, then, and basically Rita found Dugwell, and they found Rackers guilty and sentenced him to death. But the Rangers showed up and told us that Doug was alive, he's back alive. So basically, we have a situation going on. So basically, it turned out that Rita did the Rangers did tell Rita, when they before they came back to Grow King and whatnot, and basically, but Rita decided to say that I decided to suspend your death sentence if you help us take down Douglas and the space bugger once and for all, and bring peace to our planet, and bring peace to our planet and out the universe. So basically, the other Rangers were, even though the other Rangers, were still kind of pissed off at Ratcliffe to what the things that he did, but they did understand why he did the things. But the Rangers, like, we're willing to work with you to take down Douglas. So and the space bunker once and for all. And basically, like, Ratcliffe agreed to say, don't worry, don't worry. I will aid you guys to take down Tucker and the space bunker once and for all, and and bring peace to all the people and all the bugger who want to live in peace on our planet. And basically, what Gary said. Gary said, "Well, I know, my memories came back. I know what you said that day and whatnot. So basically, I'm glad that we're finally working together, my brother." And basically, the episode ended with Garrett and Rackers taking hands, they're taking hands and pressing to work together with the other Rangers to take down Dogwa and the Space Barbara once and for all. And that's how the episode ended on this note. So anyway, this is this was a very good this was a very good episode. We finally got some answers on why Gary is able to communicate with the other Shoe God Zords. We finally got a full understanding of we finally got a full understanding on Douglas and Radcliffe and whatnot, and also what happened to the original boys and whatnot. So basically, about the whole thing, and finally got a good, mostly a clear answer on how the theory of the gods actually happened in the first place, and also a lot more details as well. So anyway, this was a good episode. What do you guys think about this episode? Good or bad? Or just nah? Please let me know. Anyway, sign off from Screw Reviews. One.